We have finally reached the end of the fall Jewish holiday season, holidays every week for 4 weeks, and now we begin the cycle of Torah readings once again and begin our regular lives without the interruption, the festive interruption of holidays. The portion Bereisheet serves as a perfect example and metaphor of what it means to recognize God's presence in our lives. The portion begins very profoundly with a description of how the world was created. It's not necessarily a scientific approach. It certainly isn't a scientific answer as to how the world was created, but a human response to understanding God's role in the universe and in nature. And so we have 6 days of creation followed by the Sabbath, a very profound and deeply spiritual explanation of how the world was created and how we are to respond to that. And before the Torah can even spend more time on that, it then shifts its focus onto human beings, to Adam and Eve and their family and life in the Garden of Eden. And it is typical of our lives today. They understood, they heard God's voice speak to them, they heard the commandments as to which produce they were allowed to eat and what they were supposed to stay away from, and yet they violated that law anyway. And so we have then, with this first portion that comes right after the holidays, after Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, and Sukkot, in which on the holidays we focus on our intention to be as good as possible and ask God for forgiveness. Here we are with the very first portion of the Torah, in which we have the human condition spelled out before us. You can have God in your life. You can even hear God talk to you, as Adam and Eve did, and yet we are doomed to fail. The question then is, how do we rise above our failure? What will we do knowing that we can have access to God to be better and to be as good as possible? That's the question from this week's Parsha. Shabbat Shalom.